be alive.
Do you mind? Do you mind if we ask you a couple questions?
Absolutely, no problem.
Okay. Great.
Can I
So-
just ask quickly, is that's doing the right thing?
Okay. First of all, we're gonna start with these questions. The survey questions. We have made a survey, and here are the questions. Okay.
Your survey looks a bit short.
Yeah.
The questions. You giving me a short interview?
No,
We have more
Okay.
questions.
All right, good. All right. I'm expecting more questions.
As we go on, we're gonna ask more.
All right.
Do you think oil mining is bad for the environment?
Oil mining is, I wouldn't necessarily say bad for the environment if you do it responsibly.
Okay.
Yes, no.
Yeah, it depends on how you do it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Good way to do it is not
Bad.
to.
Okay. Okay. Does oil affect the environment?
Yes. Depends on how the oil, if oil that's not properly mined and spills in places where it shouldn't be, is not good for the environment. But oil that is mined properly and that's used, for example, to power cabins or to use to power tractors or other stuff that kind of help clean the environment is good for the environment.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That would be no. So you think could be bad and good for you.
Right, depending on how you use it or how it's applied.
So, yeah. Great. Our theme for this project is an inquiry into the ways in which we discover and express ideas, feeling nature, culture, beliefs and values, the way in which we reflect on, extend and enjoy our creativity or appreciation of the aesthetics.
Mm-hmm.
And also our central idea, well my one is, the struggle to share oil can result in conflict if not resolved responsibly.
Yeah, that's the same one. This is it.
And, well, so do you know a lot about Save the Base?
I know a little about it. And a lot is a relative term. Yep, I've been following it for a few years now. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're doing for an action is we're donating to Save the Base to stop the oil spill.
Oil spill, right.
Yeah.
Where?
At BC.
At BC.
Yeah.
Clifton,
Well, it's not really an oil spill because it hasn't ended. It's going on continuously.
Continuously. And I was wondering if you'd like to see some photos.
Yeah, sure. I'd like to see photos.
Okay, so I took these photos. These
And
are
you're a good photographer. You've captured a lot here.
you just
Right.
because I've taken I don't know what that is. Do you know what it is?
I think it's like a refueling port for ships.
Yeah, but that's what this is.
Right. These.
Oh yeah.
This serves the same purpose actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. This ships come here, they dock, and they send a pipe, a hose from the ship itself, the hull itself, to land to the oil tanks, storage tanks, and then they refuel that way. Certain ships can't most ships can't get too close to the coast, to the edge, so they have to kind of stay out a couple feet away from the edge from distance, dock, and then run the pipeline.
Yeah. There's that no cost.
This is-
Even more damage.
Yes. This is also something like that. It's a refueling and a tanker
Right.
loading dock.
Mhm.
So I asked them if I could come in and take some photos. They said sure. They said they're not connected to BEC.
All right.
I'm like, okay. Then I look in the corner and I take this photo. That's oil.
Right. Yeah. That is oil.
That's-
and it's obvious. Anybody can
And
go
they
there.
said there's never been a leak. So I think they're trying to hide it.
Who told you there's never been a leak?
The people there.
But then but you're trying to figure out how the oil gets there.
Yeah. And then
Why is it there?
I took this through the fence again. And that's another picture of the oil. These are nice photos of the tanker being loaded.
There's a little bit of oil on the side.
There
Oh,
is.
no, that's a shadow. No, that's
That is
oil.
So they said no cellular phones and no smoke in there.
Right.
Now the cellular phones, I think that may be with taking photos. Would you think that?
I wouldn't think so, because they would say no cameras also,
Yeah, because
right?
you can take
No
photos on
cameras or
camera.
anything, just the camera, exclude cell phones or smart tablets like the ones you have.
Yeah.
So cell phone is probably to protect against terrorists. Cell phones can be used to mark location, GPS location.
Yeah.
Once you have the location GPS, terrorists decide to fire something in that specific location.
Well, these are tank
Right.
and
They're
they're
looking,
rusted.
they're looking, they're rusting,
Right.
yeah.
Yep. They're rusted. One out of it.
And there's oil.
Mhm.
So that is affecting the environment very.
Some of them, did they indicate to you that which ones have oil? Because some of them do not have oil. Some
Yeah,
could
I
be.
took a bunch of
Right.
photos.
Yeah.
Now
Some could be.
this, I think, may be oil. 'Cause
Yeah, that looks like oil.
cooking.
Yeah. Yeah. That is definitely oil.
Now this has to definitely be oil. Right here.
Yep. It looks like oil.
And so does,
Hard to see.
so does
Yeah, right.
But there's oil
Yeah.
along the
Ladder.
rock, the Pleistocene
Oh,
bedrock.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, that's definitely oil.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, when I took that photo, they told me to take it. So, I stopped taking photos there, and I walked farther.
Right.
And
They don't want, they
they
don't want.
don't like photos
Was
unless
it-
you're
wa-
on a boat.
Was it public property you own or private property?
I don't know.
Because if it's public property, you're allowed to take photos.
There was no fencing or anything.
Yeah, if it's public property, you're allowed to take photos. You have to find out whether or not that part of that property was public or private.
Yeah, well, I found
More oil blooms.
oil blooms, and they just kept going
Mm-hmm.
and going.
Right. Yep.
And then they just continued.
Like they're surrounding the
And
whole
then
Yeah.
place.
what happened was then I found this one.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
And then I found
High drive.
oil on the ground on BC property,
Mm-hmm.
which is seeping through the ground.
Which is seeping through the ground. So you saw it seeping.
It has to be because it is a liquid, and liquid seeps through.
Well, if you read the reports, yeah, the oil that's on the surface isn't really the problem. It's the oil that's below
Yeah.
that's really seeping through the rocks and getting to the ocean. And that can be, you read the papers. That's why I brought these papers. You see people like Fred Smith. You hear about people like Coach Smith, all members of the board of directors, I believe, or in some capacity of Save the Days, and talks a lot about these details. So what I'm mentioning to you is public common knowledge. There's a lot of research that can also be done, and I would be more than happy to help you and give up some papers and give you more information.
And also, I kept going and kept going.
Right. Yeah.
The vent seems like it's falling down.
Yeah.
You're gonna have oil containers. They at least need to reinforce it so it doesn't seep out so easily and doesn't rust.
Yeah. Well,
Aluminum.
Yeah.
well, this seems to be damage done more by maybe. I don't think oil raised tankers come through here. This might just be incidental damage. Somebody's
Rusting.
right. Yeah, there's rusting too.
Yeah.
Right, along this guardrail. So yeah.
Is that more skill? Yeah, it looks like more
Those are bones, and you know what? Those usually we usually don't use bones in areas
But they say
where
that,
where the water is that rough,
yeah.
right? Because
Because
the
it'll
water's
just go over.
it's going to go over, or because of the turbulence in the water, they're going to get filled very very quickly.
Yeah,
and then,
and it can go up. It can like go into the air, spray out its mist.
Yeah,
If there's a storm.
it'll go up, but it's going to come down very quick because
Yeah.
oil is not is dense.
Yeah.
So it'll fall back down. But we usually use bones in like this in lakes, bones and skimmers.
Yeah.